Good morning. I have a new a new contraption to hold my phone, so it's actually pretty cool. I can put it anywhere, and it's a tripod. I think I'll take my slippers off. Although I wear those slippers outside and everything, so they're my LL Bean. All right, well, hello, good morning, and no, do one more thing. Aha! All these new discoveries I'm making as we go on 6 or 7 weeks of this beautiful yoga we've been able to have. So, yeah, thank you for being here. And I think you're both here. I'm gonna come close up. Good morning. We are here. That's wonderful. So, I just want to thank you guys for me having this opportunity to be with you. And the next best thing, of course, is to be in person. And I know, and even I know you're both still working very hard and still giving so much to your clients. So I really feel a kindred with you. So just wanted to say that. Miss you in person, but I'm glad that we have this. So it's actually been a godsend to have such good technology during this pandemic. So we're going to do like we always do. So one of the things that is very different is that we don't chat as much, and we do a full hour of yoga. So back when we were meeting in person, we tended to chat a lot, which I think is a big part of it too. With my private clients, that happens a lot where we spend some time chatting, and I think that's part of our whole yoga practice. So I have combination of everything, and part of what we're going to do is some of what we did on Monday, which was our sun salutations with the lunges forward. You guys have done that before. We'll do some stretching. Obviously, we'll do some movement. Nothing new, but maybe stuff. We'll mix it up. I wanted to do some of the good leg work and stretching that I know both of you need in different ways. So, all right, so let's just sit and breathe. Feel free to rearrange your legs. Feel free to sit on a blanket, pillow, or the ball. Sitting tall and breathing. So the idea of getting into our own space for yoga and kind of just taking and centering ourselves is to allow the breath to bring us inside, try to just let go of whatever's happening outside of our physical, emotional bodies, kind of just be for the next hour. Still there, but right now we're just taking care of ourselves, our mind, our body, our emotions. And so you can either close your eyes or focus on a drishti. Even having our eyes open, we want to be able to still focus from within. Get 3 more slow, deep breaths. And then we'll go ahead, open our eyes, roll our shoulders, and let's lengthen our legs. Shake them out. Whatever way you were crossing before, I'd like you to sort of do the opposite. If you remember what way that was, and just see how that feels through your legs and your hips. May feel a little more stretch because this is not the natural way that we would sit, most likely. Let's get a couple more breaths here. Taking our arms out to the side, rolling our shoulders back and down, and reaching our arms wide. So we're sitting tall on the sit bones. Try not to let that tailbone come down. Sometimes it takes a little bit of a pelvic tilt to kind of lengthen. Shoulders down and back, engaging the core. Reaching as if we're reaching our fingertips into the earth. Lifting the heart. Let's take our left arm up and over, and then open up here, stretching the side body. See if you can lengthen the right side of the body as well. Pulling the belly in, and then the other side. Reach and lengthen, and take it back. You can look up, you can look down. It's the shoulder we want to go back. Sometimes that makes us have to come a little bit taller though. We're lengthening both sides of the body and then coming back. Good, rolling our shoulders, taking a twist, looking behind, taking a twist in the other direction, looking behind if that feels comfortable. Coming back to the center. Let's release our legs. How did that feel through your hips? We'll get good hip and leg stretch today. Let's take our legs so we're going to be in a forward fold here. So if we were standing, right, we'd have our legs parallel and our feet parallel. This time I'd like your feet and knees together. Then taking an inhale, scooping the belly back, reach forward. Keep scooping the belly back, but you can fold as much as you'd like. Not forcing anything. We're still warming up. And it may be a little chilly in your room downstairs. Rolling the shoulders back, lengthening the spine. Lengthen the neck. Try to keep those legs together. Knees are soft. Maybe take it a little further. Keep pulling the belly back. Keep breathing into any tight areas. Engaging the core, rolling up. Good. Now we'll slide our legs around to the back in a more uncomfortable way, not the natural way we would do it. Slide around. So we do things automatically without thinking. Maybe standing up from a chair. Maybe we stand up using one side more than the other. We can remove the blanket or the pillow and then take ourselves to all fours. Spreading the fingers out as much as you can with the middle finger reaching the top of the mat. And then curling and arching, taking our cat and cow, taking your time, stretching through the muscles, picturing the vertebrae moving, articulating it one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders staying wide and back, as if we could sort of flatten out this upper back area instead of the shoulder blades coming together. We want them back and wide. So they want to help out, the shoulders do, when we come to our cat and our cow, sometimes they're hunched up a little. See if we can get them wider, as if we're trying to press into the walls with both shoulders. Flattening out that back, upper back, right where the spine is. Feeling a stretch throughout the body, back. I have a feeling y'all did some yard work outside too at the beach probably this weekend, so you may be stretching some of those muscles, or maybe muscles from doing whatever you have been doing the last few days, maybe from Monday night, who knows. Let's go ahead and stretch our arms forward, send our hips back, and just breathe. We'll come to our forearms now. We'll lengthen the left leg back, engaging the core, and just slowly taking the legs side to side. We don't have to go too far, right? Taking your time, because somewhere along the way, we're going to feel that muscles are tight, and we're going to want to just slowly stretch them out. We never want to move fast when we're trying to stretch a muscle, because that kind of makes the muscle tighten up rather than loosen up. Take it side to side. Maybe you can look at the foot, look over your shoulder to the left, look over your shoulder to the right as the foot and leg go side to side. Remember, keeping that corset nice and laced up. Let's come back to the center. We'll take the other side and start out slow. Start out small. See how your whole body feels here. And then coming back to our forearms, let's stretch our hips back. And then if you'd like, sliding the arms down along your side, resting your head to the mat if that feels comfortable. Breathing. And let's slide back to all fours, holding here. So now we're on all fours. Let's go ahead and get a little stretch through the forearm and the wrists. We don't have to press too hard, but keeping the elbow unlocked, keeping the elbow, maybe stretching all the way up, maybe stretching just the forearm, or maybe just the hand. And then taking our hands back, spreading the fingers. Let's come to our first down dog. We'll spend a little time here in our down dog, pedaling out. Let one heel go down to the mat as the other bends up, and then switch sides. Sending the tailbone high. Keep pressing into the thumbs and the knuckles. Strong. We're pressing into the earth, but we're also lifting, using our core to lift our tailbone high, right? Strong core will help us give our hands and arms and wrists a little bit of a break. So keep that strong core. Maybe shift the tailbone a little higher by tilting the pelvis a little bit more, stretching through the back of the legs. So we're still playing in our down dog. And then let's go ahead and bend our knees, look towards the front of the mat, and walk or step towards the front of the mat. So stepping would be 1, 2, walking would be 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever is comfortable for you. Hello, good morning, here we are. Inhale and exhale. Well, let's take a couple of standing sun salutations. Taking that standing sun salutation 2 or 3 times. Get at your own pace, working through every muscle, every fiber, every joint, every bone of your body, waking up. Salute to the sun. I'll meet you in mountain pose, bringing our hands to heart center, pressing into our roots, lengthening, rising up right through the crown of the head. Check in on the corset, lifting the heart, hands to heart center, so our thumbs can be resting right on our heart, right on our chest, lifting the heart, shoulders back, checking the knees for softness, checking the roots, picturing them growing deep and wide. Let's press our hands together and rise our arms and hands overhead, keeping our chin lifted. We'll take our hands behind. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, hands to heart center. Full inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. One more time. Beautiful. Let's reach our arms out forward so our hands are still gently pressing together. Shoulders are still down. Right, so we have a nice tall spine, natural curve of your spine. But send the tailbone a little bit further into the earth. Knees are soft. We'll take our arms wide, reaching. See if we can widen and flatten this part of our back. Our shoulders now getting wider, pressing into the walls, reaching our fingers so our fingers are pressing through the walls. Good. Holding. Beautiful. And then let's lower down, nice and easy. Roll our shoulders back. Let's take a cow face here. So bringing our arms up, pardon me, right hand behind. So as if we're touching our shoulder blade. Left hand is going to go behind this way, right? And then just hold here. Open up and then reaching towards your fingertips. Engage the core. So if we had a strap or one of those elastic bands, we could, work at bringing our hands together. This side, I'm able to get my fingers together so I can kind of get that stretch. But we want to be careful here that we don't overstretch, right? Open up through the elbows. One elbow going up, one elbow going down. Check the rest of the posture. You know what it is. But if we had a band, we could kind of work to get closer together. We always want to treat our shoulders, rotator cuffs, all these areas of the neck and the shoulders and chest and upper back with respect. Let's slowly rise up, release. Good. Roll the shoulders back. Let's take our left hand up and over, just kind of patting the back and then bending that right arm back, feeling the difference between the sides. Find that length in the posture and then just work here. If you're finding tightness, just breathe into that tightness. Eventually, if we were to do this pose every single week and twice a week or 3 times a week, we'd be there. And it's not about getting there, it's more about opening up. So let's open up through the shoulders, right? Bring our left elbow up, our right elbow down as much as we can, right? I have a lot more tightness here. I'll show you where I am. And that's due to an injury in my right shoulder way back when. But again, if we were to do this often, or maybe work with that band, pulling our hands closer together, then we would be closer, right? But that's not what it's about. It's about getting that cow face, that stretch. Let's nice and easy release. And then roll the shoulders back. Good. So if we have time at the end, we'll do cow face with lower and upper body. If you remember what that is, that's a great hip stretch as well as shoulder stretch. So let's go ahead and take our sun salutation here, using the core to fold. Good. Let's take some mini chair poses, right? Keeping our hands to heart center, keeping our heart lifted. So our feet are parallel. Mini chair pose, just sitting our hips back just a little bit. Sitting our hips back just a little bit, right? Our knees don't go anywhere, so it's not this. It's this. And we don't have to go all the way down here, right? Just a little bit. Couple more, just like that. Feet are parallel. Feet, knees, and hips lined up. And this time, let's just hold here. We're going to step back with our right leg into our lunge, our high lunge position, right? And this is also warrior one. Let's take and stretch that front leg straight, so both legs are straight, and then lower. This knee never goes beyond the ankle. Toes should be lifted in the front foot, and we're on our back toe, big toe, maybe forefoot. Try to keep the knees, feet, and hips straight ahead. Inhale, pressing, smiling, getting into your own rhythm of breathing, smiling. Core, right? This is your yoga. Inhale and exhale, hands to heart center. So now let's go ahead and lower that back heel. If you need to adjust your feet wider or closer together, that's fine. But let's try to arrange so our hips can be more towards the front. Knee, this foot, hips, the back toes lined up with the shoulders to the front of the mat, and the back heel is turned back, so the back toes are way further forward. And right, we don't want this back heel back here. We would rather have it wider or lined up, the toes lined up still with the front hip. Good. Warrior one. And check that front knee, wiggle those front toes, make sure we're where we're supposed to be here, and then inhale, bring those arms up, exhale. Beautiful stretch through the shoulders today. Inhale and exhale. Inhale here, reaching back, sending the hips forward. We don't really want to bend the low back necessarily. We want to press the hips forward. Keep pressing through both feet, sometimes pressing through that baby toe of the back foot and pressing through the knuckle of the big toe, pressing through the heel, right? Sometimes that foot wants to lift up, lifting up through both arches, holding, breathing. Warrior one. And hands to heart center. Let's go ahead and step forward. It's nice to spend time in our warriors. Let's go ahead and sit into our little mini chair. Step back with the left foot. First, we're in that high lunge position. We can always adjust. Let's make sure here that our toes, heels, knees, and hips and shoulders are all lined up. Hold here. Good. Let's get that flow. So straighten the front leg and then bend. Straighten. When we straighten, our knee is behind our heel in the front. And when we bend, that knee just goes right over the heel. Keep those toes lifted or keep wiggling them. Make sure we're not going too far forward with that front knee. Use your core. We're rising up as we press down, right? So visualize pressing those roots deeper, pressing the roots deeper as we rise up. Let's go two more just like this. Keep the shoulders going wide too, working through those shoulders. Full body here. Let's take our hands to heart center. Now we're going to lower that back heel, warrior one. Remember, adjusting as needed. So this is actually a good way to get into warrior one. But if your feet, if it doesn't feel right, if your balance is completely off, just adjust, right? Because it is a challenge for our balance, no matter if we're in a really comfortable position or not. And then adjust so the hips can be more towards the front, which is hard to do if that heel is down and the toes turning out a tiny bit. So adjust through that back foot. Most likely that's where you need to adjust. Maybe it comes closer, maybe further away. Holding, breathing. Good. Let's reach our arms up. See if we can send those hips a little further forward. Where are you feeling this? Breathe into it. Breathe into wherever you're needing to stretch. Try not to tighten anywhere. Try to release and relax through this pose. Breathe. Maybe it's the balance that you have to unfocus on because maybe we're moving a little more, and that's okay. The balance is a big thing. Just breathe, just smile, keep the core engaged. Bringing our hands to heart center, and let's step forward. Let's take a sun salutation. So we're moving on to our full sun salutations. And like we did Monday, pardon me, what we're going to do is we'll do it together. So we'll take our sun salutation, and instead of stepping back to a plank, we're going to step back to a high lunge on one side, then to a down dog, then high lunge on the other side, make our way all the way up. So full sun salutations, vinyasa flow. All right, finding our mountain first. Let's prepare. Let's root a little deeper. Let's breathe. And then when you're ready, let's do this. Inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, oops, I forgot to do the rest of it. Hold here, breathing. I'm going to do one thing. I'm coming up. I'm feeling, I could be completely wrong, but I wanted to kind of level out this camera a little bit with my new fancy toy here. Sorry for the disruption. I don't know if that helped at all. Maybe it helped me in my own brain. All right, so then full sun salutation here. Inhale. This time just fold. Exhale. Let's step back to a high lunge. And then lengthen forward. Heart comes forward. We're lengthening the back leg, keeping it as straight as you can, right? And then let's step back to our down dog. Bending the knees, looking forward. Let's step forward with the right leg. High lunge, lengthening, lift the heart forward, pull the belly in, and let's step into a forward fold. Inhale. Exhale. We'll do that on the other side. Inhale, exhale. Step back with the left leg, high lunge. Good. Step back to a down dog. Good. Hold one breath in each part of the pose. Bending the knees, step forward with the left leg. Lift the heart forward. So we're always getting that length here. And then step forward and then inhale all the way up. Let's do that a couple more times on each side. Inhale, exhale, fold. Step back, right leg. Lengthen forward, lift the heart forward. Step back to a down dog. One full breath. Bending the knees, stepping forward with the right leg. Using the core, lengthen forward. Bending, right? Using the core. Inhale, stepping forward. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Step back with the left leg. High lunge. Lift the heart forward. Good. Step back to a down dog. Bending the knees. Step forward with the left leg. Lift and lengthen. And then stepping forward to a forward fold. Good. No worries if that foot doesn't, we're kind of moving quickly through it. No worries if that foot doesn't come too far forward. So we're going to take that high lunge and we're going to lift our hands off. So inhale, let's take a forward fold, step back with the right leg, lengthen here. Our weight is on that front foot and the back toe, and then lift and lengthen. Hold, breathe. Hands to heart center, engage the core. Let's come down. Step the front foot back to a down dog. One full breath here. Bending, looking forward. Step the right leg forward. Pressing. Hands to heart center, lowering down. Stepping forward to our forward fold. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Step back with the left leg. Pressing, lifting. Keep breathing here. Hands to heart center, lower down, down dog. One full breath. Bending, looking forward, stepping the left leg forward. High lunge. Hands to heart center. Good. Stepping forward, forward fold. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Inhale. Forward fold. Step back with the right foot. High lunge here. Good. Holding, breathing. This time, we're going to bring ourselves forward. We're going to step the back foot halfway forward, keeping the feet lined up. And then pressing up. Pyramid. Preparing for pyramid. So we want to keep the toes, knees, and hips lined up. And if anything, for balance, right, or for tightness, we want to widen through the feet a little. So we could go like this, but we don't want to be here with the leg crossed back, keeping our hips and feet lined up, or maybe a little wider. Let's take an inhale. Also, we can widen through here. We can widen through here, right? Or we can keep it here. See how it feels. See how it feels with your body. Knees are soft. Inhale. Exhale, hands behind, resting our hands on our hips, on our buttocks, right? Palms together if you can. Open up, lift the heart, and then folding forward. Make sure the knees stay soft. You can continue looking forward, pressing through both sides of both feet. Toes are relaxed, but down. We're still in sort of a sharp fold, not curling, but sharp here, and stopping when you feel a stretch through the back of that front leg. Open up, breathe. Let's take ourselves up, reaching the knuckles towards the earth, sending the hips forward. Try not to arch too much in the low back, but more of a lengthening in the spine. Pulling the belly in, stepping forward. Good, release, inhale. Exhale, fold. Step back with the left leg. Opening up, high lunge. Hands to heart center. Good. Pull the belly in, taking ourselves down here. We're going to step the back foot halfway forward. Lining up our feet. We can always line them up while we're standing. Let's take our arms up and behind. Good. Pressing through our heels, pull up through the arches, drawing that energy from the earth. Go ahead and lead with the heart, folding forward. Send the tailbone back. Keep that natural curve. We have a neutral spine rather than curling or arching, but we have a natural curve in our low spine. Maybe this side we can go a little further with that straight back. Maybe we can't go as far. Just keep lengthening, keep sending the tailbone to the back of the room and sit bones. Pressing into our feet, rising up, and send the hips forward, open up, lengthen the spine. We can look up or we can look forward. We don't want to have our head hanging back, right? Keeping the shoulders wide and down. You may feel a big stretch through there. So most of our poses, we're working from head to toe, and I know that you feel that. And then let's release. Come back to standing. Let's take an inhale. Exhale, step back, high lunge with the right. Inhale here. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's take a breath here. Make sure we feel comfortable in this pose. Pull the belly in, taking ourselves to a fold. We're going to step back to our pyramid on this side, pressing up. Hands to heart center. Inhale, pressing the hands together. Exhale, hands come behind, open up. So let's lead with the heart on this side, releasing through the torso, releasing through the legs, the toes, lengthen, maybe looking forward, lifting the heart forward, breathe. Then, right, so we start with a nice long spine. Keep breathing into wherever you need to, lengthening. And then pull the belly in and let's curl. Feel free to let those arms come back. Don't force it. If you'd like to just sort of melt over that front leg, breathe into wherever you need to, or you can keep your hands rested and melt. Pressing into our feet, we'll rise up. Let's go ahead and get that arch back again. More for the hips going forward. And then let's step forward. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Step back left. Press into our high lunge. Hands here. Make any adjustments you need. Pulling the belly in, fold forward. And then step that back foot halfway forward. Inhale. Doesn't the second time around always feel better? Hold here. Make any adjustments. Maybe it's just an adjustment here, right? Or in our breath. Bringing our arms up and behind. Shoulders back. Lengthen forward. Keep that length. Lifting the heart forward. Check your knees, your feet, your neck, everything. Then pulling the belly in, let's go ahead and curl. Let our head drop towards the floor. If you want to lift your arms back, go ahead and do that. Don't force it. Try to keep your palms together, but you don't have to. Lowering the hands to the hips if they lifted, and then pressing into our roots, rising up. And let's send our hips forward. And then stepping forward. Very nice. Pyramid. Inhale. Exhale. Hands to heart center. Good. Holding. Breathing. So those were challenging in terms of balance. Sometimes we don't have to do balance poses. We don't have to be on one foot for the balance pose. But I'd like us to do tree. And we're just going to do it one time on each side. So you decide where you want to go with your tree. take it to the deepest part that you think you can do, and just focus on your roots rising up, your breath, your core. And if you're moving a little, you're supposed to move a little. Don't get too caught up in that. Get more caught up in the roots and the breath. I always encourage you to allow yourself to fall out of your tree. And then when you're ready, we'll take it to the other side. Wherever your foot is, make sure the leg is participating by pressing into the foot. Finding length, growing your tree. And go ahead and lower down. Good. Finding our mountain. Breathing, lengthening. Readjust, grow those roots even deeper here, even wider. Bringing our hands to heart center, and this time our sun salutation will bring us down to the mat. So let's inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Stepping back to our down dog. Good, holding, breathing. See if we can send our tailbone even higher here. Maybe adjust the feet further back and still get that V. See how that feels. And then we're going to lower our knees and then come to child's pose or puppy. Release here. This is about releasing through the torso, the spine, the hips. We certainly did a lot for our hips so far already today. And then we'll come to all fours. So let's just take our hips side to side, loosening up. Taking our right hip out, look over our right shoulder. And then our left hip out, look over our left shoulder. So we're preparing. What I'd like us to do is go into our down dog and then into our pigeon. But if you'd like to get into your pigeon from here, you're welcome to do that. So that would mean bringing the leg forward. But if you're going into your down dog first, let's press into our knuckles, our middle finger reaching up. Let's come to our down dog. We're going to first take a three-legged dog on the right, engaging the core, shifting forward, and then pigeon on this side. So bring that right leg forward, lengthen the left leg back. The left leg is active, so the knee and the thigh towards the floor, the top of the foot towards the mat as well. Holding, breathing, lengthening, strong through the core, sending the hips towards the mat, not the low back. Open up, lengthen, lift. You can always adjust. So ideally, we want the hips facing in the same direction. Sometimes when we're in a pigeon, this left hip might be lifting up, So you may have to adjust somewhere as long as it doesn't feel uncomfortable or like we're pulling on the knee joints or the foot is uncomfortable. When I first started doing pigeon, my foot was just not right. I couldn't get it to feel comfortable. So flexing the foot may also help with either the knee or the foot. Then let's go ahead and take ourselves down here to our forearms. Lengthen the heart forward, adjusting the hips so both hips are facing towards the mat. And then if you're ready, taking it further down, resting your forehead on your hands, breathing, releasing, adjusting. Let's see if we can get 10 full breaths here. Full, slow breaths, spending a lot of time in our pigeon. And with each breath, just send the breath to any tight areas. And perhaps after a few breaths, you make a tiny adjustment just to get deeper into those hips. Much neglected hips throughout our week, right? So that's what the pigeon is so helpful for, just releasing whatever we're holding in our hips. Keep that back leg active. Keep the core engaged, maybe zipping up. Any adjustments you need. So we should be on 4 or 5 breaths. 5 more breaths, slowly, deeply. Let's go ahead and make our way to our forearms. Using the core, make our way to our hands, lengthening. Then if you'd like to bend that back knee and reach back for it, left hand to the back foot, and that's just for Maureen. Just breathe. But just bending the back leg is also an option. Stretching the front of the thigh, that's towards the mat, and stretching still the right hip. So much going on here. Everything is working together. And then go ahead and lengthen that back leg out. We're going to bring our front leg back to a down dog. So let's make our way there using our core. And then down dog, pedaling out a little bit. Let's take a 3-legged on the left, shifting forward and placing that left foot lining up with the front of the mat as much as you can. Just observing how this side is different than the other side. Lengthening the back leg so it's nice and straight. Take a look if you're not sure. The knee, the thigh, the top of the foot. Holding, breathing, lengthening. Maybe lengthening from the pelvic floor. Shoulders go wide here. Press those shoulders into the walls, opposite walls. Not too much weight on your hands, strong core. Let's go ahead and come down onto our forearms now. And if you felt like you were hanging on with your hands, go ahead and rotate those wrists. Then adjusting your pigeon as needed.
Zip the core. Let's go ahead and take ourselves down to the mat, forehead to the arms. Adjusting those hips more level, maybe flexing the foot. How do your joints feel? We're getting 10 full breaths here, so if you're already on 3, go ahead and take 7 more. Breathing deeply and slowly, releasing with each. Slowly making our way to our forearms. And then to our hands. And if you'd like to bend that back knee and reach back, see how that feels. Adjusting, strong corset. Breathe. So much going on here through the whole body. Shoulders wide. Pull the belly in a little tighter. We'll release this. And rolling the back toes under, let's go to our down dog. Pedal out a little bit. Coming down onto our knees, sending our hips back. Child's pose. You could slide your hands down towards the back if you'd like. And then we're coming up to all fours if you have the balls handy. We're not coming up to all fours, we're actually coming to seated. And then taking the ball, we'll take it in between our shoulder blades, rolling back. You can always adjust. You can keep your feet flat on the floor, or you can lengthen your legs out, but let's start with our feet flat on the floor, and we're going to open up here through the arms, shoulders back, staying engaged through the core. Just let the heart open, let the shoulders relax open. If this is uncomfortable, right, letting your head fall back and gently on the floor, you can adjust the ball, or you don't have to do this at all. It's not always a pose that's right for everyone, letting your head fall back, right? And then we'll roll off the ball to the right or the left, release the ball, taking our feet back, hugging our legs in. So that was a little stretch in lieu of our cow face, because you know me, we're running out of time. Doesn't matter if we have 45 minutes or an hour. I tend to try to get too much in. But it all works. It all works. So we're hugging our legs in. We're rocking side to side. Let your head drop. Or don't let it drop. Just lower it to the floor. And taking our head side to side, now our lower body is still. And then come to the center. Let's do happy baby today. I think it's appropriate. So we're going to bring our knees out to the side, feet towards the ceiling, and then taking the arches, the inside arches. Here, I would like you to try to send the tailbone closer to the earth. See how that feels. And there are different ways we can do our happy baby, right? Maybe your knees are bent. Maybe that feels better. Maybe your hands are behind your hamstrings. See if we can lower the tailbone here or here. Also, we can straighten one leg or straighten the other. And just breathe. Pulling the belly in tight, tighter. Bringing the bottoms of the feet together and wrapping our hands around our feet, frog legs. Your feet can be here, they can be lower. Just not forcing anything, just nice and easy, settling into your pose. Maybe the tailbone goes closer to the earth here as well. Maybe the shoulders go a little wider. And just breathe. Pulling the belly in a little tighter as we bring our knees together, lowering and lengthening the right leg, and then the left, and getting that full body yawn. 3 full breaths here as we lengthen. And preparing for your Shavasana after the length. Always feeling as if you can add that last pose or stretch to your yoga before your Shavasana. And then as we settle into our Shavasana, releasing, scanning, sending the breath wherever it's needed. Breathing deeply into all parts of your physical and emotional body.
yourself to seated, or feel free to stay in your Shavasana. Hands to heart center and getting a few breaths here. Recentering, rerouting, preparing this time for the day ahead. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace in our thoughts, peace in our words, peace in our heart. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you, my friends. I will talk to you later or see you later.